"Please purchase me, human," the former alien warrior whispered. The stars stretched endlessly across the void, glittering like a scattered handful of diamonds. Captain Lena Torres leaned forward in the cockpit of the intrepid explorer, her eyes fixed on the planet slowly rotating below. Humanity had traveled far, far beyond the edges of known space, and this small, emerald and gold world promised something new, something unknown. Her crew moved around the ship, running final system checks. They were tense, but excited. First contact with an alien civilization was always a mixture of wonder and danger. Lena felt her chest tighten with a mixture of responsibility and anticipation. One wrong move could start a conflict, or worse, doom humanity's first chance at peaceful exploration in this sector. "Captain, we're in orbit," her science officer, Rena Cho, announced. Her voice was calm, but Lena could sense her own excitement mirrored in it. Sensors indicate life signs, multiple intelligent life forms humanoid in appearance, but their physiology is different, very different. "Good," Lena said, voice steady. "Prepare the landing team. We make contact, but cautiously. Observe first. Remember, we are guests here." The landing shuttle descended through the atmosphere, the clouds swirling around it like silver smoke. Lena watched the world grow closer, mountains and rivers stretching like veins across the planet. And then she saw them, figures moving on the open plains below. At first, she thought they were human-like soldiers or workers, but as the shuttle neared, she realized they were something entirely alien. Their bodies were taller than most humans, their skin a smooth shade of blue with patterns that glimmered under the planet's sun. Armor-plated parts of their limbs in strange, intricate designs, and their heads were adorned with metallic ridges that looked ceremonial. One figure stood apart from the rest, clearly a warrior of some kind. The shuttle landed on a flat plateau surrounded by crystal-like rocks. Lena and her team stepped out cautiously, their boots crunching against the strange, golden soil. The alien warrior noticed them instantly, her eyes, large and reflective, locking on Lena's face. For a moment, Lena froze. The warrior's gaze was intense, almost piercing, but not hostile. Then, almost shyly, the alien whispered something. "Don't watch, human," Lena blinked, her mind raced. Did the alien speak English, or was it some strange form of telepathy? I'm not watching," Lena said carefully, raising her hands in a gesture of peace. Her crew exchanged puzzled glances. The warrior seemed flustered, shifting her stance and glancing around as if embarrassed. She began to adjust parts of her armor, or perhaps ceremonial gear, slowly, carefully. Lena quickly realized the alien's whisper had nothing to do with hostility. It was private, something personal in their culture. Curiosity burned in Lena's chest. She had trained for this moment, first contact with an alien species, yet in all her simulations and studies, no one had mentioned alien shyness or embarrassment. She wanted to learn more, but she also knew respect was crucial. "Captain, what should we do?" Rena whispered. "Observe," Lena said firmly. "From a distance, don't interfere. That's what first contact is about, respect their space." The alien warrior, Zyra, Lena would later learn, finished her preparation. With a sharp, fluid motion, she snapped a panel of her armor into place. It made a soft, metallic click. Her posture straightened, and her eyes, which had darted nervously before, now shone with pride and focus. Lena felt a small smile tug at her lips. Despite being alien, despite their advanced technology and different biology, Zyra's behavior was relatable. Anyone, human or alien, could feel embarrassed or flustered in unfamiliar situations. Humanity wasn't alone in that. Then, as if deciding she could trust the humans, Zyra took a cautious step forward. Her voice, now louder but still calm, spoke in broken English, or perhaps a universal translator was picking up the intent. "You, curious, yes." "Yes," Lena admitted. "We are explorers. We mean no harm. We want to learn about you, your people, your planet." Zyra's eyes narrowed slightly, evaluating her words. Then she gave a slight nod, almost imperceptible, before turning to her companions. A series of gestures and clicks passed between the aliens, which Lena's translator tried to interpret. They were communicating instructions, perhaps about how to interact with these strange, new visitors from another world. One of Zyra's companions approached cautiously. A smaller alien with golden-hued skin and delicate limbs extended a hand. Lena stepped forward and shook it firmly. The texture was different, smooth but firm, like polished stone, and the gesture was sincere. Zyra watched carefully, still wary but less tense than before. Lena noticed the way the warrior's armor caught the sunlight, glinting like liquid metal. Every movement was precise, every glance deliberate. It was as if Zyra was not just a soldier, but a guardian of her culture, her people, and their sacred ways. Lena's mind raced with questions. How did they fight? How did they live? What did their rituals mean? She wanted to ask, but she remembered the whisper. She couldn't just demand answers, she had to earn them. Your armor, it's beautiful, Lena said cautiously. Does it have special meaning? Zyra stiffened slightly, then relaxed. She gestured toward the mountains in the distance, pointing to the sky, then to Lena. The translator worked, slowly piecing the meaning together. Protection, honor, tradition, it said. Lena nodded, understanding. Armor wasn't just about defense, it was about identity. Humans had uniforms, ceremonial clothes, but this was deeper, woven into the very being of the wearer. A low rumble shook the plateau. Lena glanced up at the sky. Dark clouds were moving faster than normal, swirling unnaturally. Her sensors picked up a sharp spike in energy readings, something approaching fast. Captain, Rena said urgently, whatever that is, it's coming straight for the planet, and it's big. Zyra's eyes widened. She barked a sharp command, and her companions quickly dispersed, preparing for something. Lena didn't yet understand what, but instinctively she knew it wasn't hostile toward the humans. It was something environmental, perhaps dangerous to all life here. Stay close, Lena instructed her team. We help if we can. Zyra approached Lena once more. This time her voice carried authority, even if it was hesitant. Human, you help, you smart, maybe useful. Lena smiled, trying to hide her surprise. This was the start of something remarkable. Humanity wasn't just observing, they were about to prove themselves capable allies. The rumble grew louder. From the mountains, a shimmering, strange energy storm began to descend. Lightning-like arcs of unknown force struck the ground, splitting rocks and sending dust into the air. Zyra raised her arms, and her companions formed a defensive formation. Lena instinctively mirrored their movements, standing firm beside them. For the first time, she felt the thrill of true interstellar adventure, not just as an observer, but as a participant. Humanity had landed on an alien world, met a warrior of another species, and now faced a challenge unlike anything back home. And somewhere deep inside, Lena felt a spark of pride. This was the moment humans had always dreamed of, not just to explore the stars, but to make a difference, to show courage, curiosity, and ingenuity where it mattered most. The energy storm hit the plateau, sending shockwaves through the soil. Zyra's voice rang out, clear and commanding, guiding her companions. Lena followed her lead, improvising where she could, using every bit of knowledge she had. The humans weren't trained for alien combat, but their brains, creative, adaptive, bold, were unmatched. As the storm raged around them, Lena caught Zyra's eye. There was no embarrassment this time, only respect. The first contact was complete, not just words, gestures, or rituals, but in shared action. Humanity was no longer a stranger here. They were participants, allies, and maybe even something more, a force that the aliens would soon come to trust. And somewhere in the back of Lena's mind, a quiet thought lingered. She had come to observe, to learn, to witness, but she had also begun to understand. Not all lessons were learned in words. Some were learned in courage, in action, and in the simple act of standing together when the universe decided to test you. The plateau shook again, and Lena braced herself. Whatever was coming next, humanity would face it head-on. And for the first time, she realized something extraordinary. Maybe humans were exactly what this galaxy needed. The plateau had barely settled from the storm when Captain Lena Torres realized just how much she had yet to understand about Zyra's world. The golden soil still trembled under the force of the strange energy storm, and the alien warrior's companions moved swiftly, scanning the area with sharp, calculated gestures. Lena watched them, trying to memorize their patterns, their rhythm, their almost ritualistic motions. "Captain, are we sure they understand us?" Rena asked, her voice tense. She scanned the alien symbols that appeared in the air as Zyra and her team communicated. "Their gestures, it's like nothing we've ever seen." "We'll figure it out," Lena said. She stepped forward carefully, making herself visible without appearing threatening. "We just need to show respect. That's how humans always start." Zyra's eyes flickered toward Lena, and the warrior tilted her head in a gesture that was somewhere between caution and curiosity. Lena had noticed that slight head tilts among humans usually indicated thoughtfulness. Perhaps here it meant the same. "You want learn," Zyra said, the translator catching only fragments of meaning. Her voice was soft but firm. Follow, watch, but careful, Lena nodded. Careful, always careful. The first lesson came unexpectedly. Zyra began moving toward a small hill where a series of crystalline formations jutted from the ground. With precise, almost dance-like motions, the warrior tapped the crystals in a specific pattern. The result was a soft, harmonic tone vibrating through the air. Lena's jaw dropped. "What is that?" she asked. Zyra paused and looked at her, expression unreadable. Then slowly she held up one hand and gestured for Lena to come closer. Lena stepped forward, keeping her movements smooth and deliberate. When she reached the crystals, Zyra pointed at a specific set of formations and mimicked the tapping motion. Lena followed. She struck the crystals, imitating Zyra's rhythm as best she could. A soft harmony emerged, but it was slightly off-key. Zyra's eyes narrowed, and for a moment Lena feared she had offended the alien warrior. Then, unexpectedly, Zyra's lips, or the alien equivalent, curved upward. It was a small gesture, but it was clear approval. "You learn fast," Zyra said. Lena allowed herself a small smile. "We humans adapt quickly." As the day progressed, Lena and her team were introduced to more aspects of the aliens' culture. Meals were simple but nutritious, consisting of fruits and grains that Lena had never seen before. The aliens didn't speak much during meals, relying instead on gestures and eye contact. Lena noticed that even the smallest actions carried meaning. A tilt of the head, a hand gesture, a pause in motion. Misinterpretation could lead to offense. And of course, Lena had her first cultural misstep. While examining a ceremonial staff leaning against a crystal pillar, she picked it up too firmly. Zyra froze, eyes wide, and hissed something in her language. The translator caught the tone, but not the words, a sharp warning. "Oh," Lena said, letting go immediately. "I'm sorry." "I didn't mean to." Zyra's stance softened slightly, but she didn't speak again. Lena realized that on this world, everything, even inanimate objects, had significance. Touching the wrong item in the wrong way could be seen as aggressive or disrespectful. "You careful," Zyra finally said, her voice calmer. "Learn respect." Lena nodded. "Yes, I understand. We will be careful." Despite the occasional misstep, the humans began to earn the aliens' cautious trust. They helped repair damaged equipment left from the storm, using basic engineering and improvisation to adapt human tools to alien technology. Lena watched Zyra's expression as she observed them at work. At first, it was a mixture of confusion and suspicion. But as the humans solved problems the aliens hadn't considered, rigid puzzles that required creative thinking, Zyra's respect grew. By midday, a large horn-like sound echoed across the plateau. Lena looked up to see a group of alien scouts approaching. They carried small devices that emitted soft glows, scanning the surrounding area. Zyra straightened, calling her companions into formation. Lena and her team followed suit, instinctively standing in positions that mirrored the alien formation. The scouts arrived with urgency. One of them stepped forward, gesturing frantically toward the horizon. Lena followed the motion with her eyes and froze. A series of glowing orbs moved across the sky, streaking toward the planet with alarming speed. "Energy anomalies," Rena muttered, consulting her instruments. "They're unstable and massive. They could wipe out anything in their path." Zyra barked commands, and her companions moved swiftly, preparing defensive measures. Lena noticed the disciplined precision in their movements. Every gesture, every shift in stance had a purpose. And yet there was still room for improvisation, something humans excelled at. "We need a plan," Lena said, turning to Zyra. "You have tactics, we have ideas, let's combine them." Zyra's eyes narrowed, studying Lena. For a moment, the alien warrior seemed to weigh the risk of allowing humans to intervene. Then, after a pause that felt like an eternity, she inclined her head. "Follow human ideas, but careful," she warned. Lena smiled. "Careful, always careful." The humans and aliens worked side by side. Lena suggested using reflective surfaces to redirect the energy orbs, a tactic Zyra's species had never considered. The aliens adjusted shields and barriers based on human improvisation, their movements precise and synchronized. As they worked, Lena observed Zyra closely. The warrior's discipline was matched by a quiet pride in her people, but also an unmistakable curiosity about these strange human allies. Every so often, Zyra's gaze would linger on Lena, almost as if trying to understand how a human mind could devise such unusual solutions. Hours passed. The energy orbs grew closer, and the threat became undeniable. Yet, thanks to their cooperation, a buffer of reflective crystals and energy shields began to stabilize the anomaly. Lena could see the awe on Zyra's companions' faces. Humans were proving their worth not just by following orders, but by thinking differently, by adapting to alien logic and technology in ways that surprised even the aliens themselves. During a brief pause, Lena and Zyra found themselves standing apart from the rest. Zyra's expression was softer now, less guarded. "You strange," she said. "You're thinking not like ours, but useful," Lena grinned. "I'll take that as a compliment." Zyra's lips curved slightly, almost the closest thing to a smile Lena had seen. "Learn fast, adapt, survive." "Like us, you'll find humans are very good at surviving," Lena said. The two shared a moment of mutual respect. Despite their differences, they understood each other in ways that words alone could not convey. And in that moment, Lena realized why humanity had always looked to the stars, not just for exploration, but for challenges that demanded courage, intellect, and cooperation. The energy orbs began to slow, caught in the web of shields and reflective surfaces. Zyra barked commands, guiding her team to finalize the containment. Lena watched in awe as alien precision combined with human ingenuity created a solution neither species could have achieved alone. Finally, the orbs dissipated, leaving the plateau intact but scorched in places. The humans and aliens exhaled in relief. Zyra lowered her arms, her posture relaxing. She looked at Lena, and in that look was recognition. Humans were not intruders, not observers, they were allies. "Not watch only," Zyra said quietly. "Participate, help, good." Lena nodded, feeling a swell of pride. "We're here to help. That's why we came." The rest of the day passed in a mix of celebration and cautious observation. Lena and her team learned more about the aliens' rituals, their dances, their ways of communicating honor and respect. Missteps still occurred, a wrong gesture here, an accidental bump there, but each mistake became a lesson, each correction a bridge between species. By evening, Lena stood at the edge of the plateau, watching the twin suns set over the mountains. Zyra joined her, silent at first, then spoke in her soft, deliberate voice. "You, human, not what we expected, strong, clever, respect." "Thank you," Lena replied. "We'll keep learning, we'll do our best to understand you." Zyra inclined her head. "Good, learn, survive, prepare." Lena looked out over the plateau, thinking of the challenges yet to come. Humanity had survived this first test not by strength alone, but by curiosity, by adaptability, and by willingness to work with beings unlike themselves. And somewhere deep inside, Lena knew this was only the beginning. The universe was vast, full of mysteries and full of dangers. But humans had a spark of ingenuity, courage, and relentless curiosity that no alien technology, no unknown threat could extinguish. As night fell, the plateau glowed softly with the reflection of the twin suns, afterlight. Lena and her team set up a temporary camp, preparing for the next day of learning, observation, and cooperation. Zyra stood nearby, her posture relaxed now, her eyes occasionally scanning the humans with an expression that bordered on admiration. For the first time, Lena felt a true sense of partnership. Humanity was no longer just visiting the stars. They were part of them, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And tomorrow would bring the next lesson, the next test, and the next chance to show that humans could survive, adapt, and thrive in a galaxy full of wonders. The next morning, the plateau was bathed in soft golden light. Twin suns rose slowly over the horizon, casting long shadows across the crystalline landscape. Captain Lena Torres woke before her team, staring out at the alien city in the distance. Towers of polished crystal shimmered like light caught in water, and Lena felt a deep sense of awe. Humanity had traveled across the stars, but seeing an advanced alien civilization up close, alive and thriving, was beyond anything she had imagined. Zyra approached silently, her steps light but precise. She had shed the formal tension of the previous day but retained the air of command. Lena turned to greet her, remembering the lesson learned, respect first, curiosity second. "You awake early," Zyra said. The words were clipped, but there was a faint hint of amusement. "I like to observe," Lena said. "We can learn more that way." Zyra's eyes narrowed thoughtfully, then she gestured for Lena to follow. "Today, danger, learn, act, human help needed." Lena's heart raced. She had expected more lessons, more observation, but danger. She followed Zyra to the edge of the plateau, where a valley stretched below. From the far end of the valley, a dark, twisting cloud moved unnaturally fast, crackling with energy and leaving scorched streaks on the ground. Lena's sensors confirmed her fears. This was not a natural storm, but some sort of energy anomaly, larger and more destructive than the previous day. "Do you know what it is?" Lena asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Zyra shook her head. "Not like yesterday, worse. Can destroy, must stop, or planet suffer." Lena took a deep breath. Humans had faced danger countless times, but this was different. This was alien, unknown, yet she felt a spark of determination. Humanity survived by thinking differently, by being creative, by refusing to give up. "We'll help," Lena said. "Tell me what you need." Zyra's eyes studied her. Then, with a gesture, she pointed to the valley and the path of the energy anomaly. "We block redirect." But difficult, only human, maybe, think. Lena understood. The aliens had tried containment, precision, and force. None had worked. It was now up to human ingenuity to find a new solution. "All right," Lena said, pulling out a small holographic device. She drew a rough diagram of the valley and the anomaly's path. "We need to slow it, then redirect it. Energy can't just disappear. It must go somewhere safe." Zyra's eyes flicked from Lena to the diagram. She made a series of quick gestures, communicating with her companions. Lena's team watched in awe. Zyra's species was brilliant at technology, but there was a certain rigidity in their tactics. Humans, on the other hand, could improvise. Lena continued, pointing to the reflective crystals scattered around the valley. "We use these. Arrange them like mirrors, redirect the energy into the canyon. The canyon is wide and reinforced naturally by the rock formations. It will contain the energy safely." Zyra's lips pressed together in thought. Then slowly she nodded. "Try human idea, risk ours." Lena smiled faintly. "We've faced risks before. Let's do it carefully." The humans and aliens worked together, a mix of improvisation and precision. Lena's team carried reflective panels and stabilized them with human-engineered braces. Zyra's warriors positioned energy barriers, guided by Lena's diagrams and instructions. It was an unusual collaboration, human intuition meeting alien discipline. As the anomaly approached, the ground shook. The energy storm crackled with blinding arcs, sending waves of force outward. Lena and Zyra coordinated their teams, shouting instructions, pointing, adjusting. "More to the left," Lena called. A reflective panel wobbled. She ran to steady it. "Steady, steady." Zyra barked commands to her companions. "Focus, align, redirect." Slowly, carefully, the energy began to hit the reflective surfaces. Sparks flew as the first arcs bounced off, redirected toward the canyon. The anomaly's path wavered slightly, reacting to their combined effort. "Good, good," Lena muttered. Her hands were steady, but her heart pounded. Humanity had survived storms, wars, and disasters on Earth, but this was a test unlike any other. The energy shifted again, faster now, more unpredictable. One of the human braces snapped under the pressure. Lena lunged to hold it in place. Sparks flew, and she felt the heat, but her determination did not falter. Zyra noticed immediately. With a fluid motion, she extended a hand, guiding the human brace back into alignment. "Human, strong, think fast," Lena nodded. "And your precise, perfect combination." Together, humans and aliens adjusted panels, redirected energy, and maintained barriers. Hours passed like minutes, adrenaline coursing through everyone. The anomaly began to split, fragments redirected into different sections of the canyon. Finally, with one last coordinated effort, the energy storm was fully contained. The valley was scorched, but the main population centers were safe. Humans and aliens alike exhaled in relief. Lena and Zyra stood side by side, surveying the results. "You clever," Zyra said quietly. "Human thinking different, useful, respect." Lena smiled. "Thank you, but we didn't do it alone. Your discipline, your skills helped too." Zyra inclined her head, acknowledging the compliment. There was a mutual understanding forming. Humans and aliens could not only coexist, but also complement each other's strengths. Later, in the alien city, Lena was introduced to the Council of Elders. They were tall, regal, and wore ceremonial robes that shimmered in the light. Each elder had intricate markings across their faces, signifying status and accomplishments. Lena bowed slightly, following the proper protocol she had learned in the past day. "You have helped our people," one elder said, voice deep and resonant. Humans are unusual. You think in ways we do not. You are brave. We are grateful. Lena felt a rush of pride. This was what humanity had always strived for, recognition not by power alone, but by courage, ingenuity, and integrity. Thank you, Lena replied. We are explorers, yes, but we also seek to understand and help. That is what humans do, the elder nodded. Then you are welcome here. Learn, share, survive together. That evening, Lena and Zyra walked through the alien city. Lanterns glowed softly along crystalline streets. Children, humanoid but distinctly alien, played near the edge of plazas, their laughter a mixture of curiosity and joy. Lena felt a deep sense of connection, not just to these beings, but to the idea that humans could be part of a larger galaxy, capable of cooperation and heroism beyond Earth. You, human, different, Zyra said, breaking the silence. Not only strong, clever, but brave. Risk for others. You've risked too, Lena replied, and taught us lessons. We're learning from each other. Zyra's expression softened, and for the first time, Lena noticed a glimmer of something almost human in the alien warrior, admiration. Respect had been earned not by strength alone, but by ingenuity, courage, and a willingness to step into the unknown. Night fell, and the twin suns disappeared beyond the horizon. The city lights reflected in the crystalline towers, creating a pattern of colors that seemed almost magical. Lena stood on a balcony, thinking about the next steps. Humanity had survived this first test with ingenuity and collaboration, but she knew greater challenges awaited. Zyra joined her quietly. Tomorrow, bigger test, she said. Threats stronger, need human ideas again. Lena nodded. We'll be ready. Humans survive by thinking, adapting, and never giving up. Together we can face anything. Zyra's lips curved slightly, a small gesture but significant. Good, together, strong. For the first time, Lena felt the true meaning of HFY. Humanity was not just exploring the stars. They were proving that intellect, courage, and cooperation could overcome challenges no species could face alone. The universe was vast, dangerous, and unpredictable, but humans had a spark, a drive to survive and thrive, and that spark had just begun to shine among the stars. As they returned to the temporary camp, Lena watched Zyra's companions preparing for rest. Humans and aliens shared the plateau in a delicate balance of trust, mutual respect, and shared purpose. Lena knew that the bonds formed here, through danger, problem-solving, and courage, would define the relationship between their species for generations. And deep in her heart, Lena felt certain. Whatever the next challenge, humanity's ingenuity, bravery, and relentless curiosity would continue to shine, proving that even among the stars, humans were a force to be reckoned with. The stars stretched endlessly above them once again. Tomorrow, they would face a test that demanded not just bravery or skill, but unity. And Lena knew, without a doubt, that humans were ready. The twin suns had barely risen when the alarm sounded across the alien city. Lena was already awake, scanning the horizon from the balcony of the temporary human camp. The peaceful light of morning was shattered by a dark, massive shape descending from the clouds, a colossal swarm of energy entities unlike anything Lena had ever seen. They crackled with power, moving with speed and purpose. The sensors confirmed it. This was far more dangerous than the previous anomaly. Entire cities could be destroyed if they were not stopped. Zyra appeared beside her, armor gleaming in the rising sunlight. Her expression was serious, every movement precise and deliberate. Human, today, fight, together, must protect planet people. Lena nodded, heart racing. We're ready. Humans survive by thinking fast, acting faster. Let's do this together. The plateau shook as the first energy creatures struck. They tore through the golden plains, leaving trails of scorched soil and fractured rock. Lena and her team quickly joined Zyra and her warriors at the edge of the city, forming a defensive line. The aliens moved with military precision, but the sheer unpredictability of the creatures required more than just discipline. Captain, Rena said, consulting her instruments, these entities are reacting to movement and energy. They're intelligent, but not like us. They respond to patterns, weaknesses. We can outthink them. Lena smiled grimly. Then that's what we'll do. Humans think differently. Let's use it. Zyra turned to her companions, giving sharp commands. The warriors formed an advanced defensive grid, energy shields flickering to life in strategic positions. Lena stepped forward with her team, pointing to gaps and angles the aliens hadn't considered. We need to channel their movement. Herd them into the canyon just like yesterday's energy anomaly, but faster. Use barriers to guide them, don't let them scatter. Zyra's eyes narrowed, scanning Lena's gestures. After a moment of thought, she nodded sharply. Human ideas risky but work. Follow plan. The first wave of energy creatures surged toward the city. The humans and aliens worked in perfect coordination. Lena's team moved reflective panels and energy disruptors into position, while Zyra's warriors adjusted shields and redirected energy flows. Sparks flew as arcs of raw power struck barriers, but the combined efforts began to control the creature's path. One particularly massive entity broke through a defensive line, sending shockwaves across the plateau. Lena's pulse quickened. She grabbed a control panel and activated an energy pulse generator, directing a concentrated wave to redirect the creature's trajectory. It worked, barely, but it gave the rest of the team time to reinforce the barriers. Good, Zyra barked. Human, fast-thinking, save line. Lena gritted her teeth, adrenaline surging. We're not done yet. Keep them moving toward the canyon. Hours passed in a blur of motion. Humans and aliens adapted constantly, reacting to unpredictable attacks. Lena noticed the admiration in Zyra's eyes. The alien warrior had witnessed human creativity firsthand, and it was undeniable. The humans were not soldiers in the traditional sense, but their ingenuity, courage, and adaptability were unmatched. A sudden scream of energy erupted near the central plaza. One of the creatures had broken through the outer defenses, heading straight for the city's heart. Lena dashed forward, coordinating with Zyra to intercept it. They worked as a team, combining alien combat techniques with human improvisation. Lena used a temporary energy net, while Zyra struck with precision energy blades, forcing the creature off course. You, clever human, Zyra said, glancing at Lena briefly. Survive clever thinking. Lena nodded, sweat dripping down her brow. You're precise and brave. Together we can do anything. As the day wore on, the swarm began to thin, but a massive entity remained, the largest yet, moving with purpose directly toward the canyon. Lena studied it carefully. We need a combined strike, she said. Use everything, energy redirection, shields, and your strike formation. I'll coordinate the timing. Zyra's warriors arranged themselves around the plateau. Lena's team positioned reflective panels and energy disruptors at critical angles. Every detail mattered. One mistake could mean disaster. The entity surged forward. Lena gave the signal. Shields rose, panels angled, energy pulses fired. The creature collided with the human-alien defenses, arcs of energy exploding in a brilliant display. For a tense moment, it seemed unstoppable. Then Lena saw the opening, a small gap created by the entity's movement. She shouted to Zyra, "Now, strike together." Zyra lunged with precision energy blades, humans triggered synchronized energy pulses, and the creature was finally redirected into the canyon. It crashed with a thunderous impact, trapped safely, unable to escape. The remaining swarm, seeing their largest member contained, scattered and fled, leaving the city unharmed. Silence fell across the plateau. Dust and smoke swirled around the humans and aliens. Lena's team exhaled, exhausted but triumphant. Zyra lowered her weapons, eyes scanning the humans. For the first time, Lena saw true respect in her expression, a recognition that humans were not only survivors but capable partners. You, strong, Zyra said, voice calm but firm. Human, brave, clever, help save. Lena felt a deep sense of pride. Humanity had survived not by strength alone, but by courage, intelligence, and the willingness to act under pressure. We did it together, she said. Humans and aliens, both strong, both brave. Zyra inclined her head, acknowledging the statement. The rest of her companions relaxed, moving among their city to assess damage and help any injured. Lena and her team assisted as well, demonstrating that humans were not only capable of heroism in battle, but also of compassion and cooperation. Later, the Council of Elders convened in the city's Grand Hall. Lena stood before them, flanked by Zyra. The elders were silent for a moment, studying the humans. Then one spoke, his voice deep and resonant. Humans, unlike any we expected. You think differently, act bravely, survive, help. You have proven yourselves not only as explorers, but as allies. Lena bowed respectfully. Thank you, we are honored to help. Humans strive to survive, to learn, and to work with others. That is our way. Another elder stepped forward, handing Lena a ceremonial crystal. It glowed softly in her hands. This symbolizes respect and trust. You and your people welcome in our world. Lena felt warmth in her chest. Recognition not by force, but by action, ingenuity, and cooperation. That was the essence of HFY. Humanity had shown that even among the stars, they could rise to challenges, earn trust, and make a difference. As night fell, Lena and Zyra walked along the plateau once more. Fires burned softly in the valley below, and the city glimmered like a jewel. The twin suns had set, leaving stars stretched across the sky in brilliant patterns. You, human different, Zyra said quietly. Strong, clever, brave, work together, survive. Lena smiled. We are humans. We survive by thinking, by acting, by never giving up. And we learn from those around us. You've taught us too. Zyra paused, considering the words. Then with a subtle nod, she said, Good, together, strong. Lena looked out over the plateau, thinking of the future. Humanity had faced danger and uncertainty, yet through courage, innovation, and teamwork, they had triumphed. The galaxy was vast, full of threats and wonders alike, but humans had a spark that could not be ignored. Tomorrow, the plateau would recover, and humans and aliens would continue learning from each other. But today had proven something extraordinary. Humanity could stand alongside alien civilizations, face overwhelming danger, and emerge not only unbroken but stronger. For Lena, the stars above were no longer distant points of light. They were challenges to meet, mysteries to explore, and opportunities to prove that humanity's courage, intelligence, and heart could shine even in the darkest corners of the galaxy. And deep in her mind, Lena knew the greatest challenge was still to come. Yet with humans and Zyra's people standing side by side, there was nothing they could not face. The plateau was quiet now. The energy storms had passed, the creatures had been contained, and the alien city stood intact. Lena Torres walked slowly among the crystalline streets, taking in the subtle hum of activity. Aliens moved with purpose, tending to repairs and checking their energy systems, but there was no tension in the air, only relief, gratitude, and a sense of cautious optimism. Beside her, Zyra walked silently. The warrior's usual intensity had softened into a quiet pride, a respect that Lena could feel even without words. The humans and aliens had faced overwhelming danger together, and now, after hours of coordinated effort, a bond had been formed that neither species could ignore. You human, Zyra said quietly, breaking the silence. Today you and your people good, very good, help strong. Thank you, Lena replied, but we didn't do it alone. Your people's skill, your planning, and your courage made it possible too. Zyra's gaze lingered on Lena. For a moment, the warrior's stoic demeanor softened further, a subtle acknowledgement of mutual respect. Then she gestured toward a series of crystal towers in the city center. Come, elders want speak. Lena nodded and followed. As they approached, the council of elders had already gathered, their tall, regal figures illuminated by soft light refracting through the crystals. Each elder bore intricate markings, symbols of their wisdom and accomplishments. Lena felt a mixture of awe and humility. This was more than a first contact. It was a formal recognition of humanity's role in the galaxy. One elder stepped forward, his voice deep and commanding. Humans, you arrived as strangers. You observed, you adapted, you acted. You showed bravery and intellect. You have proven yourselves worthy allies. Lena inclined her head respectfully. We are honored. Humans explore, learn, and adapt. We believe in cooperation and courage. Today was a test for both our species, and we are grateful for your guidance and trust. The elder nodded, and another stepped forward, presenting Lena with a crystal pendant that glowed softly. This symbolizes respect, honor, and trust. You and your people welcome here. Your actions will be remembered in our records as a foundation for future friendship and collaboration. Lena accepted it, feeling warmth and pride. This recognition was not given lightly. Humans had earned it through intellect, adaptability, and courage. It was a reminder that survival in the galaxy was not about strength alone. It was about wisdom, cooperation, and respect. Zyra stepped beside Lena, her expression a mix of pride and subtle amusement. You, human, different. Not only clever, brave, but respect others. Learn, adapt, survive. And you've taught us the same, Lena said softly. We've learned more in the last few days than we could in years on Earth, about strategy, about culture, about honor. The warrior's eyes flicked toward the horizon, where the plateau stretched endlessly, golden soil reflecting the light of the setting suns. Together, strong, human allies welcome. Lena smiled, feeling the weight of the moment. For years, humanity had dreamed of reaching the stars, of meeting new life, of proving that humans could not only survive but thrive in the universe. Today, that dream had been realized, not just through survival, but through recognition, trust, and mutual respect. Later, Lena returned to the temporary human camp with her team. They were exhausted, but exhilarated. The day had tested them in ways no training on Earth could have prepared them for. Yet through courage, ingenuity, and teamwork, they had faced the greatest challenge yet and emerged victorious. "We did it," Rena said, her voice full of awe. "We actually helped save an entire city and they respect us. Humans, Zyra, everyone, we did this together." Lena nodded, gazing at the stars above. "It's only the beginning. Humanity has a place among the stars now, but we have to continue learning, continue respecting, and continue proving ourselves." That night, Lena and Zyra walked again along the plateau. The twin suns had set, and the stars stretched across the sky in brilliant patterns, mirrored in the crystalline towers of the city. The air was calm, the tension of the past days replaced with a shared sense of accomplishment. "You, human," Zyra said softly. "Your people strong, clever, survive, maybe future together." "Yes," Lena said. "We've shown courage, intelligence, and respect, and will keep proving ourselves, not just as explorers, but as friends and allies." Zyra tilted her head, a gesture Lena had come to understand as approval and trust. "Good. Tomorrow, learn more, prepare, always ready, together, survive." Lena smiled. "We will. Humans are nothing if not ready to adapt and overcome." The next morning, humans were formally invited into the heart of the alien city. Children approached, curious and wide-eyed, mimicking human gestures and attempting to speak simple words in English. Lena knelt to greet them, laughing softly as they chattered and experimented with their new visitors. Even in the midst of adventure, there was room for joy, for learning, for connection. Zyra observed quietly, her expression unreadable at first. But when one child handed Lena a small, glowing crystal, mimicking the gift she had received, Zyra's lips curved slightly, a gesture Lena now recognized as approval. The warrior had learned that human curiosity and kindness could inspire trust and admiration, even among her people. As the humans prepared to leave the plateau, the Council of Elders gathered once more. "Humanity," one elder said, "you have earned our respect. Your courage, your intellect, and your honor shine brightly. You are welcome in our world, and your actions will guide future relations between our peoples." Lena bowed. "Thank you. We hope this is the start of a long friendship, not just between our species, but for the greater good of the galaxy. Humanity has much to learn, but we also bring ideas, creativity, and determination." The elders nodded in agreement. Zyra stood beside Lena, silent but resolute, a testament to the strength of their bond. The warrior had taught the humans lessons in discipline, strategy, and respect, and in return, Lena and her team had demonstrated ingenuity, courage, and cooperation. Together, they had survived a great challenge, and together, they had forged a new chapter in the history of two civilizations. As the humans boarded their shuttle, the alien city stretched below them, gleaming in the light of the twin suns. Lena looked at Zyra, who gave a small nod. It was a silent promise, one of trust, respect, and future collaboration. "Goodbye, human," Zyra said softly. "Remember, together strong." "We will," Lena replied, "and will return. Humanity will always stand ready wherever we are needed. We'll continue learning and helping." The shuttle lifted off, the plateau shrinking beneath them. Lena's heart swelled with pride and hope. Humanity had arrived among the stars and had proven themselves not just as explorers, but as allies, as partners, and as a force capable of facing the unknown. As the planet disappeared behind the hull, Lena thought of the lessons learned. Courage in the face of danger, ingenuity when the odds seemed impossible, respect for life and culture beyond her own, and the power of working together. Humanity had survived and thrived because of these qualities, and they would continue to shine across the galaxy. And somewhere deep in the stars, Lena knew, a new chapter awaited, a chapter where humans and aliens would face challenges, share knowledge, and grow together, united by courage, intelligence, and mutual respect. Humanity's spark had been seen, and it would not be forgotten. The stars stretched endlessly before them, filled with promise, challenges, and the bright light of a species ready to prove that they belonged in the universe, not as conquerors, but as heroes, explorers, and friends. And in that quiet moment, Lena allowed herself a rare smile, knowing that humanity's journey had only just begun, and that together with Zyra and her people, the future was brighter than any star.